Yesterday I tried to get it.
Good morning,
It
everyone.
wasn't letting me in.
We're going to get
Kept getting
started.
error message.
My name is Tanya Cantlow, and I'm the acting counsel to Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and I'd like to welcome you to Borough Hall this morning. We have two presentations, but before the presentations begin, I will take the roll, starting with the city agencies. 311, Administration for Children's Services, Brooklyn Public Library, Commission on Human Rights, Con Ed, Department of Aging, Department of Buildings, Department of City Planning, DCAS, Department of Consumer Affairs, Department of Corrections, Department of Developmental Disabilities, Department of Corrections, Department of Design and Construction,
Here.
Department of Environmental Protection,
Here.
Department of Finance, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Department of Homeless Services, Department of Housing Preservation and Development, Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, Department of Parks and Recreation, Department of Probation, Department of Sanitation, Department of Transportation. Is that here?
Here.
Okay. Department of Youth and Community Development, Fire Department, Human Resources Administration, Mayor's Office, National Grid, New York City Housing Authority, New York City Transit, Office of Management Budget, Office of Emergency Management, Police Department, Small Business Services, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, U.S. Postal Service, Verizon. That's it. And the community boards, CB1, CB2, CB3, CB4, CB5, CB6, CB7, CB8, CB9, CB10,
Here.
CB11,
Here.
CB12,
Here.
CB13, CB14,
Here.
CB15, CB16,
Here.
CB17, CB18. Okay. So our first presentation is DEP, DDC, is it Vaishali Shakar, and Carol Nurse. Did you want to come to the podium, or do you prefer just? Okay, okay. It should be on. It's on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vaishali Sakar. This is my colleague, Carol Nurse, and we're both working on an accelerated water main project in the borough of Brooklyn. Carol and I are both community liaisons that represent the New York City Department of Design and Construction. On the next page, you'll see a little description about our project. You might be wondering, why are we doing this project? What is the purpose of all this? By doing this, the city is actually being proactive by replacing water mains believed to be 100 years old. And by doing this, we're making sure that the water delivery system becomes reliable and also prevents possible water main damages. In this project, we will be replacing water mains, water main valves, and we will also upgrade the fire hydrant system. By doing this, we will be able to continue to serve the various communities for generations. Listed below is a sequence of our work. Whenever work begins, we start by tree pruning and doing test pits. Once that is done, we do the installation of water main, whether it be 8-inch, 12-inch, 20-inch, or all three, and we repair the valves, and then we upgrade the hydrant system. Whenever we're done, we finish it off with a trench restoration. Later on, you'll also see a picture of what a finished trench restoration looks like. Here's some data on my particular project. My project ID is BEDA002. Our notice to proceed was October 3rd, 2016, and our contract value is estimated to be approximately $19 million. Our anticipated date of completion should be June 2019. In this page, you'll see a description of our project and our locations. My project is in 9 different communities and community boards. On this page, you'll also see the locations and the approximate linear footage. We have Bushwick, East New York, Bay Ridge, Bensonhurst, Williamsburg, Sheepshead Bay, Sunset Park, Kensington, and Borough Park. It's approximately a 58,000 total linear footage. On the next page, you'll see the next 3 slides will show you 3 locations that we've already completed work. One being East New York, which is Community Board 5. On the left, you'll see a breakdown of the locations, and it's also highlighted on the right. We've installed approximately 7,500 linear footage of water main. On this page, you'll see our location, Bensonhurst, Community Board 11. Locations are on the left, broken down, and it's also highlighted on the right. Our last completed project was Borough Park, Community Board 12. We installed approximately 1,100 linear footage of water main. And we're currently working in Sunset Park, Community Board 7. We're approximately 98% finished on this job. There's only a few remaining connections left, and we've installed 17,025 linear footage out of the 18,720 that is required. You can see the list of locations and everything highlighted that we've already completed. The next 3 slides will show you locations that we yet have to finish. So one being Williamsburg, Community Board 1. As you can see, it's a very short piece of street that we have to finish. It's approximately 800 linear footage. Our other location is Bushwick, which is Community Board 4, and will most likely be our location that we work on next once we're done with Sunset Park. It's approximately 2,900 linear footage of water main that is to be installed. There was a section taken out due to the train station being there. So a little portion was removed, and our new total is 2,910. Our last location is going to be Kensington, which is Community Board 14. You'll see a breakdown of the locations on the left and the map highlighted portion on the right. It's approximately 4,300 linear footage that is required to be installed. Next, I'll have Carol talk about her project.
Yes, so good morning. Thank you for your time. My name is Carol Nurse, and the project that I'm on is project number BEDA003, which is the next phase to Vaishali's BEDA002. The notice to proceed date was March 15th, 2018. The estimated value for the project was approximately $20 million. And the anticipated date for completion is September 2019. However, that date was pushed back because the contractor is waiting on the utilities to remove their utility pipes and so forth. So that date was now extended to May 2020. The description of my project is, it's in 6 different communities in 6 different community boards. These communities are Park Slope, Red Hook, Seagate, Sheepshead Bay, Canarsie, and Williamsburg. I decided to put Williamsburg last because Vaishali mentioned that they are doing work in Williamsburg also. It's not the same thing, and it's not redundancy. We are going to be working in the area, but at different locations. To date, the contractor has completed 3,130 linear feet of pipe out of 7,700 linear feet of pipe. Next few pages will indicates to the right, to the right, in Williamsburg Community Board 1, we've completed the locations that are highlighted with the description, with the locations to the left, sorry. And like I stated, the other community boards that are left are Community Board 1, Community Board 13, Community Board 6, Community Board 15, and Community Board 18. Those locations still remain to be completed. On our other slide shows what a photo looks like when the job is completed, like Vishali mentioned earlier. To the left, there's a trench restoration, sorry. There's a trench restoration. And to the right is installation of hydrant and hydrant fenders. On every construction project, there's something called the maintenance and protection of site, which is known as the MPT. Unless specified, work hours are 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., whenever necessary. On every construction site, the contractor is required to have one lane open for emergency and local traffic. Curbside parking is a problem when there's construction. However, access into buildings or homes is accessible, and sidewalks will always remain open. With every construction project, there are community impacts and other things to expect. With every construction project, there's noise, there's dust, there's sometimes garbage pickup. There are times when buses have got to be relocated. However, the contractor, the MTA, and everyone that's excuse me, that's working together for the good of the community works hand in hand to make it easier on the community. On an accelerated project like ours, our biggest concern, should I say one of our major concerns, are water main shutdowns, parking, and special needs. For the water main shutdowns, the CCL is required to notify the community with a 72-hour water main shutdown notice. 24 hours prior to the actual shutdown, the CCL goes back out and issues another 24-hour notice. These notices are to make sure that the community is aware of what's going on, and just in case there's a situation that needs to be addressed, the CCL needs to know these things so that he or she can take it back to the resident engineer that's in charge and to the contractor, and we can address it before the water is shut down. Special needs. Special needs is very important. We are not aware of who lives where. So once these notices are issued, we encourage the community to reach out to us so that we can work hand in hand, so that we can make the transition easy, like I stated before, and everything will work out well. The typical water main shutdowns are usually from 8 in the morning, 8 a.m., through 4 p.m., unless something major goes wrong. But before the end of the day, the contractor does not leave the site unless every homeowner have got water. You might say, well, what about if the person's not at home? Well, there's something that we call the resumption notice. The CCL goes and knocks on the doors and leaves a note if no one responds, stating that your water was turned on at a specific time. If you do not have water, these are the numbers that you should call immediately. My number is there, the resident engineer's number is there, and the contractor's number is there. So at any given point, if, say for instance, someone comes home at 9 o'clock at night and their water is not on, someone will reach out to us and someone will have to go out there and rectify the problem. On the other slides, the other slides are samples of what the contractor's shut-off notices and no parking advisories look like. To the front of the contractor's shutdown notices, it indicates, shut-off notices, it indicates the day, the time, the field office number, the CCL's number, in both English and Spanish. I guess the city, Department of Design and Construction, I guess they're starting to work on other languages also. And on the back of their notice, it informs the community how you go by shutting the water off so that debris from the dirt, when the water is turned back on, does not go into your valves and clog your meters and so forth. To the bottom is their notices. To the right is the newsletter and project information cards that the CCL is required to distribute. The project information card is the first card that goes out, which indicates the community, and it's usually sent to political officials, which includes community boards, businesses, homeowners. Everyone within the community gets this particular project information card. On this card, it has everything. It has what the project is all about, where the field office is, what's the intentions of the contractor. It has DDC's information, 311 information. Any information that's needed on the project is on the project card, back and forth. And quarterly, the CCL is responsible for generating a newsletter. And in the newsletter, we're required to inform the community of the work that was done, work that's upcoming, if there's any issues at all on the project, if there's maybe something that we need to address, and also the information of the CCL. The last sample is the weekly construction bulletin, which is also sent out weekly to all political officials, community boards, businesses, and homeowners. These notices indicates the locations of where the contractor will be working, the dates, and exactly what he will be doing for that particular week. This bulletin follows the advisory and the no parking notices also. They all coincide with each other because they all have got the same location, basically the same information. They all have got the dates, the times, the reach numbers for the CCL. If there's any issues, it indicates, please reach out to the field office. Okay. We as CCLs are here to keep everyone informed, to make these jobs manageable and easy on the communities. So what basically is done, we usually give out our information on this particular page. There's Vishali's information, field office, email addresses, and so forth. And there's also mine. So that's basically what my project is all about in Vishali's. If you have any questions, feel free to answer. Yes?
Hi, Community Board 15, Sheepshead Bay. My
Hi.
concern is where you're doing, hello. My concern is where you're doing the work is a lot of restaurants, it's
Yes.
commercial and
Uh-huh.
medical facilities.
Yes?
So how do you deal with these restaurants needing their water to function and medical facilities needing water? So you're giving them 72 hours, let them know?
Yes. What I usually do before the contractor decides to go out there. Like say for instance, like presently we're not, presently the contractor is not working. But if he decides to let me know tomorrow, he says, okay, maybe the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we'll be going to Sheepshead Bay.
So you're giving us a heads up then?
I will go out there personally, and I will talk to everyone in the neighborhood. I will reach out to the community boards, and I will let them know. And what we usually do is, if it's really water sensitive, the contractor tends to work, at least the contractor that I work with, he tends to work with the community. Presently, like I stated, we were in the Williamsburg area, and the area that we worked in, it's a heavily populated neighborhood, and there's lots of children, and there's schools, and so forth. There's doctor's office, and dental offices, and so forth. So what we did, we worked along with them. No one had complaints pertaining to water. Like I stated, I would meet with them personally. I will talk to the contractor. I will bring along the RE, and we will have to find a way to make it as easy as possible on the community, because that's my job. I'm the middle person.
Great, I appreciate that.
Hi, good morning. Celeste Liang, District Manager for Board 4, Bushwick. So I just want to know a little bit about how you usually handle the protocol with schools, so given that they will use a lot of water throughout the day.
Yeah, I was aware that the contractor might move to Bushwick. So for the past month and a half, I've already reached out to the school. I met with a custodian. So I have a copy of his map, and I know where their water feed is. We always supply schools with water. That's something we have to do. And I've also reached out to all the small businesses, because I see there are a lot of coffee shops, salad bars, everything, restaurants. So I've already done my homework. I've gotten everyone's contact, and we'll somehow work with the hours to accommodate them. We also, if there's ever an inconvenience and we're unable to help them with the hours, we reach out to the local small business association to see how we can help them with their losses.
Excellent, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Sean Campbell from Community Board 14. The project in Kensington is of concern. I think you're nodding your head, Police Precinct, Firehouse, UCP, 4 schools, and 2 politicians. So if we could maybe do a site visit before the project begins with DOT. We've talked before about switching the direction of Seton so that Foster Avenue isn't the only means of egress for PD,
Okay.
or something creative just to mitigate the impact on our emergency responders and our vulnerable
Right.
populations over there.
Yeah, definitely. I know because you guys had also requested a 2 months advance notice, a heads up on. So I'm definitely aware, because I took over for another CCL and she filled me in on everything that's required. That's actually one of the reasons we're going to Bushwick. We don't want to inconvenience you during religious holidays, because I know it's
Yeah,
coming.
that's the other thing,
Yes,
sure, yeah.
that's the other. So I'm well aware of all the issues that are in our neighborhoods, and I try my best to somehow work around it. If anything, I will reach out to you first. If there's any concerns, you can give me a heads up on what it is that I need to be aware of, and I would bring it back to my office, and we'd work around it.
Okay,
But
we'll
I'm-
make sure you have the best point persons at each one of those
Okay.
facilities.
Definitely.
Good, thank you.
Hi, Barry Spitzer, Community Board 12. There is a water main project going on in my district now on 13th Avenue, which I don't see listed here. And I met with DDC on that project last week, actually. Do you know why it's not listed here?
It might not be part of our project. I'm not.
It's a water main project.
There are a few water main projects going around in Brooklyn, so it might be that it's not on both of our projects. Do you, by any chance, know the CCL that might have reached out to you?
I'll have to go check now. But just as a side note, we met because there was some concerns about the Passover season, and they are working on 13th Avenue, and the project is underway already. And in the future, I would appreciate if we can meet actually before the project begins,
Sure.
so we can work around the sensitive schedules in each district. I do appreciate that they came down, spoke to us. There was somebody there from DDC, and the contractor came down, but the project's underway already. So,
Okay. And you said it's 13th Avenue? You said
13th Avenue between 38th Street and 41st Street.
41st. Okay. I can actually try to find out more information for this, and I will call you on Community Board 12, and I'll try to get as much information as I can on that project.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Morning. My name is Eddie Mark, and I'm with Community Board 13. I'm just trying to figure out, when are you going to actually begin this project?
Well, Eddie, I spoke with you a few days ago.
Yes, I know. But I just need the date.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because-
Honestly, I cannot give you a date because, like I stated before, utilities have got to remove all of their pipes that's underground. So, the reason why I reached out to you before was they figured that maybe they can start like tree pruning and so forth. However, I was informed that Seagate, it's a private community. And that, I'll have to deal with that at another date. But to date, I have no idea when they will be coming. But what I will do, though, as soon as that information is given to me, you will be the first person to know.
It's just our concern is we have the summer season, and it becomes
Right.
horrendous down there with traffic, and to make them inconvenience during a summer time is just unthinkable. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
worked
just-
in your community a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I am aware, and I will make sure that everything is done in a timely manner
Sure.
and in a proper manner also.
Yep. Thanks.
Hi, good morning. I'm Josephine Beckman, Community Board 10. I noticed on BEDA 002 that Bay Ridge is mentioned with 2,097 linear feet. And on your map, while it's not highlighted, I know that the portion along Shore Road at 89th Street was completed. There's another area that's indicated that I can't identify where it is. I want to know if that was completed.
As far as I know, that there's a little portion left that we have to come back and do. I don't know if that was the cobblestone or something related to that area, that we're gonna come back once the contract is over, and it's like a punch list of
Okay.
remaining few things that they try to finish before they end the contract. And I know that's what's left on that particular project in that
Oh.
neighborhood.
Okay, because there seems to be another one around, I'm guessing, 4th Avenue that I wasn't familiar with. It's on the first map with the description of project with the 9 communities. And there are red highlights too.
And it's also just an estimated linear footage. It sometimes, it's just an estimated on what it is that, once we get there, sometimes the totals are a little bit different.
Right. I guess my concern was that there was an additional location that I just was not familiar with.
I will double
Just
check. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any other DMs that have questions? Oh,
Well, for now, no water shut-offs.
Okay, very good.
Absolutely none.
Thank you.
I will let you know as soon as the contractor says he'll be working. I'll shoot the email like I usually do. I'll send it over to you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, let's thank Vashali and Carol from DDC. Thank you very much. So our next presenter is not here yet, but in the interim, we have other city agencies. If you'd like to give updates to the Borough Service Cabinet, we can entertain those at this time. Yep. Let me.
Testing.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexander Betancourt, Department of Youth and Community Development. The number one project we have going on right now is SYEP. As you know, the applications commenced on April 1st. Closing date is April 26th. We have been having some difficulties in some districts regarding computer access and/or application access, but we are allowing for paper applications to be used, taken out of the system and taken to providers. As you also know, we made a big addition of additional providers in this year's request for proposal. We remain committed to the 70,000 jobs. As of the count that we had as of last week was that 25,000 slots had already been applied for. A little less than 2.5 to 3 weeks into the process. So I would recommend that you keep that deadline very, very fresh in mind and really move your young people to get those applications in. Thank you.
I just want to thank DYC for your continued support for our youth conference that was held last month. It was in March. We had about 900 students, their parents, teachers sign up for it. It was a very successful event, and DYCD is always the big draw. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. For those that I've not yet met with, I've been announcing that the Department for the Aging is currently marketing the home sharing program through the New York Foundation for Senior Citizens. That is a program administered through New York Foundation, but we fund it. We're trying to get more seniors matched with other seniors who may have plenty of space in their home or apartment, because as we know, affordable housing is a crisis, an ongoing crisis. So whatever you can do to spread the word, we really do appreciate it. That information is on our website. We do advise folks to call 311. If you have constituents that are interested, just advise them to call 311. I will have flyers, hopefully, for tomorrow evening's resource fair. This is a program that's been going on for a long time, since the 80s, and we just want to just bolster the numbers. So it's on Facebook, there are ads on Pandora, and on the NYC link, kiosks will have something out there pretty soon. So I just want everyone to know that and just keep it in mind when you get calls about affordable senior housing.
Good morning, everyone. Sandra Sanchez from the Fire Department. So for the first time ever, we have a customer service complaint line. This is so brand new that we don't even have like soft copy flyers yet. But really, what we will be able to do is for non-emergency purposes, I'm going to repeat that, for non-emergency purposes, please continue to call 911. But if you have complaints or you want to make an inspection or have a complaint with an inspection that may be going on nearby, you will also be able to call 311 and request the Bureau of Fire Prevention, or you can, even faster, you will be able to send an email, and the email is as follows: FDNY business support at fdny.nyc.gov. Again, FDNY business support at fdny.nyc.gov. What that will do alongside 311, it will immediately give you a complaint number, and it will follow you through the process, because sometimes our issues, and what I've had to learn even working at the FDNY, it's not just one unit that deals with that issue. So we will triage, make sure it gets to every single person so that your issue may be addressed, and we'll follow up. So sometimes if it's a large complaint, we'll be like, no, this one goes here. The second portion of it may go to another unit, and we will follow up to make sure that you are satisfied with the response before we close it. Thank you.
Hi, Teresa, Community Affairs. Quick question for you, only because I just got it last week. Will that email address be good for people who are looking to have you guys come out and do something? Because they were asking us, like we participate in the Touch a Truck program and stuff like that. For you guys, what would be the best source of connection?
So when you say come out, is it more so like
an event, like for a school?
That would not be the best one, because that's not dealing more so with that's dealing with more safety. You can feel free to share my number. This is for anyone here. If they're looking to interface with the community or have us at an event, my number will always be best, 718-999-0827. And my email is sandra.sanchez@fdny.nyc.gov.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good morning. Karen Ellis, DP Community Affairs. Just to give you all a couple of updates, you all know Denise, and you know Robert Oliveri, who is our other Brooklyn coordinator. We have a couple of things coming up. Our Adopt a Catch Basin Steward program is going to be rolling out sometime this summer. If you have residents who are interested in adopting a catch basin, we'll have additional information, and we'll be sending it out to you all, I'd say within the next 6 to 8 weeks. If you have summer events, please contact Denise or Robert to let them know you'd like us to come out. We'll come out, we'll table. If you'd like speakers to come to community board meetings or to your civic associations, please reach out to Denise so that she would know, so we can get someone there. Also, I'm sure many of you have seen in the J Street train station our Trash It, Don't Flush It campaign all through the station. That program, as you know, we've been for the last 3 years or more, we've been going out with Cease the Grease and encouraging residents not to pour grease down the drain. In addition to all of the grease that goes down, residents are also pouring other things, feminine hygiene products, Q-tips, dental floss, wipes. All of these things are clogging not only the sewers, but our infrastructure at our wastewater treatment plants. So we have a new campaign out now to encourage residents to trash it instead of flushing it. So this way we don't have the backups. So information was sent out to you all in February. I think we kicked off the campaign, but we're asking you to please continue to post it in your newsletters so that your residents know. Okay? Thank you very much.
Also, I just wanted to add that next month is Older Americans Month. And I would really be remiss if I didn't mention it's a time to truly honor your seniors in your community and honor seniors everywhere. There'll be lots of events taking place throughout the borough. I can certainly forward to the community boards if you're interested in sharing that information on your websites. Okay? Thanks.
I had a question for DEP in terms of the grease. In terms of getting rid of that?
You trash it, you put it in a plastic container, a coffee can, a garbage bag, and put it out with the regular sanitation.
I know some people put things in the freezer and I guess take it out the next day. I guess that's another way.
Yeah, that would work, and just put it out with the regular sanitation waste.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We're going to have some additional information coming out because they haven't rolled it out yet, so I'm waiting for more information, but residents will be responsible for adopting the catch basin. If there's a catch basin in front of your home, they'll be doing some stenciling work on the catch basin. They'll be adopting it like you would a tree plant, a tree pit out in front of your house, that same type of idea. So as soon as we have more information, we'll be getting it out to you guys.
Okay. Can you pass that down? Pass it down. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Brian Fargnoli, New York City Emergency Management Intergovernmental Affairs. I'm sure many of you know we've been operating at the scene of a fire in Sunset Park on, I think it's 44th Street and 7th Avenue. Our operations there are continuing. We've had a service center open for several days now, and I believe the operations of that service center are coming to a close today, close of business. We are going to continue working with Community Board 7. We'll have staff on hand at CB7 through Friday to answer any questions or concerns from residents. We just want to thank the Community Board. I don't think Jeremy's here, but wanted to thank them for their partnership and thank all the elected officials for helping us help their constituents. And just so everyone's aware, we're going to be beginning our mobile office hours program for the summer. And we are taking suggestions. If you'd like us to come out to your community and give an emergency preparedness seminar for folks, we're happy to come do that. You can email suggestions to us at intergov@oem.nyc.gov. We would appreciate that. We have CERT classes starting in Brooklyn on May 7th and Staten Island on May 8th. Classes will be held at 165 Cabin Plaza in Brooklyn and Susan E. Wagner High School at 120 Manor Road on Staten Island. Anyone that's interested should sign up at certvolunteer.nyc. And on April 23rd or 24th, they haven't quite decided the date yet, we'll be doing an orientation for potential new CERT members, which is mandatory. And if the community board would like a presentation to the board, we're happy to come out and give your community board a presentation on CERT. And we're also encouraging not only individuals and families to be prepared, but for businesses to be prepared as well. We have our Ready New York Business Guide and Toolkit that can help businesses plan for emergencies, and that is online at nyc.gov/preparemybusiness. And if there are any questions or concerns about anything, the Intergov email address is available 24/7 at intergov@oem.nyc.gov. And that's it. Thank you. Sure. I'll have to get back to you on that, but I believe it's in English, but I'll double check.
Thank you. Any other agencies, sanitation, did you have anything?
No, we'll be in the auto show again this year.
Be in the auto show?
Wow.
Sanitation trucks?
That's what.
Oh, okay. Some for the future, like future trucks y'all gonna be using? Oh, the hybrid cars that y'all ride on. Oh, okay.
No, the truck.
Oh, hybrid truck. Is that right? Okay.
Is there an image on the website? An image of it? I'm not sure, but
There's some out on the street.
yeah, we have a couple that are out already. So.
Okay.
The 19th to the 28th.
So our next presenter is supposed to be here like now, 10:30. I don't know if anyone else had anything else they wanted to discuss before he comes. Oh.
Hi. This is National Grid, Terry Yard, and I just wanted to make everyone aware. I know we've met with a lot of the community boards over the last couple of weeks, but I wanted to make sure that if you can get to your constituents, now as the weather turns warmer, our billing process resumes. So if any customer is in need of any financial assistance, we do have programs that can assist them. So if you can just refer them to National Grid if they're having any issues with their billing. Also, just wanted to mention that we just opened up our sustainability hub over here by J Street, and it's a really interactive space where you can come in, take a look at some energy efficiency programs, economic development information as well. And if there are any, schools or, school children that you'd like to have come and visit the hub, please just get in contact with us and we can, certainly arrange that.
So we have a speaker.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invite to speak here. I was asked to give an update on some new initiatives, and the biggest initiative at 311 is the re-architect of the 311 system. Some of you may be aware of it. I'm sorry, I don't have a presentation because there's nothing to present at this time because the system is being built as we speak. In fact, I just came from a meeting from Metro Tech on that project. So what I can say is the project is set to deploy mid-year, so that's in a couple months, right? I don't have an exact date. In fact, I was just on a call with all the agencies anticipating what the deployment date is so we can all prepare for it, but it's not available yet. As soon as it is available, I'll make sure that you guys are aware. But what to expect really from the new system, at least at deployment, not much should change because this deployment really is a back-end change because the system that we're currently using is 16 years old and we need to replace it, and that's going to be very helpful moving forward because I get a lot of requests from your constituents on doing updates to particular service requests. 311 is always available to receive those requests. What 311 does is work with the receiving agency of those service requests to see if they can support it. And if they can, we'll build it into the system and make it happen. The new system is going to make that build of the new change or new service request a lot quicker than it is today. So that's one of the bigger benefits that are going to happen. That's not going to be seen publicly, but that's what's going to happen on the back end. It's going to make the system a lot more flexible. But what the new system will have that the current system does not have is the ability to create an account. So you can create an account, file your service request, and you can track them that way in a portfolio. So I don't know if that's going to be available at deployment, but if it's not, it will be soon after that. And then when I reach out with the deployment date, I'll let you know if that feature, along with more details about how that feature will work along with that. So that's all I really have. It's actually big news. It'd be really big news once we deploy. We're very excited about it. The project's been for coming up on 2 years now. So we're looking to wrap it up and deploy it and get it out there to the public. So I just wanted to avail myself of questions. I know a lot of community boards have questions of 311, and if there's anything I can answer here at this point, I'll happily do it. Yes?
Hi, Laura Singer, Community Board 15.
Hi.
Since we're big users of
Sure.
the 311 system and
Yeah.
we do encourage our constituents to use it,
Great.
why are we never brought to the table when changes are going to take place? Shouldn't we be in that conversation?
So that's a good question. This particular project is, the way I described it earlier, is a lift and shift. It really is a monumental project to support. As you probably know, 311 does intake of 3 million complaints a year. It's, over a dozen agencies use the system as well. So we want to make sure we get the cutover correct first, to make sure that everything's in place today is in place tomorrow. And then, as I said before, any enhancements that are requested, we'll always review them. They're not always possible to implement, but we absolutely will review them. And if the system's able to do it and the business is able to support it, we'll make it happen, and the new system's going to make that happen faster. Yes?
Hi, Sean Campbell from Community Board 14.
Hi.
Is the new system going to take into account the different ways that agencies interact with the system? For instance, if you file a DOE complaint and they don't gain access, it's closed because they didn't gain access, whereas other agencies will close it out because it's been resolved. So are those sort of the idiosyncrasies woven into the new system?
So that's a good question. That is more the process of the agency handling than the system itself, because the system allows for multiple types of what we call status updates. And if the agency working with 311 wants to change a status update, we're more than happy to do that. But what you described and what I heard is more of an agency process than a 311 technology issue. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Right.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
My pleasure.